While you were sleeping, someone bought the land under your house. While you were scrolling, someone patented the algorithm that controls your mood. While you were hustling for a paycheck, the elite were engineering a world where you are the product, and they are the owners. If you think wealth is about hard work, you've already lost. True power isn't earned, it is seized in the dark. Welcome to the Architect's Aperture. Number 1. The violence of decision. Most people approach life with a lottery mindset. They hope for opportunity. They pray for a break. They wait for the world to give them permission to be great. They think wealth is a result of luck, timing, or being in the right room at the right time. The wealthy do not wait. They dictate. If you want to move into the inner circle of global power, you must first commit an act of psychological violence against your current self. You must kill the employee inside you. You must execute the version of you that seeks comfort, safety, and work-life balance. Those are luxury goods you haven't earned yet. In the beginning, there is no balance. There is only obsession. Building a billion-dollar empire isn't a journey. It is a war. It is a calculated, cold-blooded obsession with dominance. Number 2, the currency of focus. The most expensive thing you own is your attention. The average person scatters their focus like dust in the wind. They care about politics they can't change, celebrities they don't know, and opinions from people who are just as broke as they are. This is cheap focus, and it is the primary reason most people remain stagnant. The elite practice merciless elimination. They understand that to build something massive, you must become invisible to the trivial. While the world is busy being connected, the architect is busy being isolated. They don't have hobbies. They have interests that serve the empire. If a friendship doesn't sharpen their mind, it is severed. If a habit doesn't increase their output, it is deleted. They don't spend time, they invest it into high-leverage systems. If an activity doesn't provide a 10-to-1 return on energy, it is beneath them. Number 3, the predator's paradox. There is a secret the wealthy keep. Competition is for losers. If you are competing, you are fighting for crumbs. The elite look for unfair advantages. They look for ways to make competition impossible. They use regulatory capture, lobbying for laws that make it too expensive for a small business to exist. They buy the patent for a technology just so no one else can use it. This is the predator's paradox. To be a successful capitalist, you must eventually destroy the free market. You must build a moat so wide and so deep that no competitor can swim across. They don't want to be the best choice. They want to be the only choice. They don't want a loyal customer. They want a dependent user. Number 4, the sovereign asset class. Wealthy individuals do not hold money. They hold power assets. Money is a fluctuating social construct. Power assets are reality. This includes high-grade farmland, water rights, satellite spectrums, and proprietary data. They understand that the world is moving toward a subscription reality. They don't want to sell you a car. They want to lease you the battery. They don't want to sell you software. They want you to pay for the cloud every single month for the rest of your life. This is the transition from ownership to access. They own the access, and you pay for the privilege of existing in their digital and physical ecosystems. Number 5, building the Leviathan. How do they build so big? They stop thinking about selling and start thinking about scaling through systems. A business depends on you. A Leviathan depends on a machine. The wealthy focus 100% of their energy on building a machine that can run without them. They don't want to be the smartest person in the room. They want to own the room where the smartest people work. They focus on asset-heavy, ego-light. They buy the land, the patents, the algorithms, and the distribution channels. They build fortress businesses. These are businesses protected by high barriers to entry. If a teenager in a garage can compete with you, you don't have a business, you have a job with more stress. Number 6. The debt super weep on. Most people are terrified of debt. They are taught that debt is a burden, a chain, a weight around their neck. And for the consumer, it is, but for the architect, debt is a super weep on. It is the fuel in the engine of expansion. The wealthy don't use their own money to build. They use OPM, other people's money. They understand the spread, the difference between the cost of borrowing and the return on the asset. If they can borrow at 5% and deploy at 15%, they have discovered a magic money tree. They don't pay off their debts, they roll them over. They use debt to buy assets that pay for the debt. This is the secret of the infinite loop. They use the bank's capital to build their legacy, while the average person uses their labor to pay the bank's interest. Number 7. The psychology of the void. To build an empire, you must be comfortable with the void. The void is the silence between making a move and seeing the result. Most people fail because they need constant feedback. They need likes. They need praise. They need a monthly paycheck. The elite can live in the void for years. They can work in total silence, with no recognition, investing millions into a project that won't see the light of day for a decade. This is delayed gratification on a cosmic scale. They don't need the world to tell them they are winning. They have the internal certainty of the architect. They know that while the world is distracted by the present, they are already living in the future they are building. Number 8. The liquidity trap. Income is not wealth. Salary is not freedom. The elite understand that cash is a melting ice cube. If you hold it, you lose it. They move their wealth into hard assets, a rare art, deep water ports, farmland, and high-end commercial real estate. These are things that cannot be printed by a government. They stay liquid only in their ability to move. They don't own things in their own name. They own control. He who controls the asset owns the asset. Ownership is for those who want to be sued. Control is for those who want to be powerful. They use layers of legal shells to ensure that they are ghosts in the eyes of the law, but giants in the eyes of the market. Number 9. The aesthetics of power. Let's talk about luxury. To the common man, luxury is about buying things to show off. To the wealthy, luxury is about signaling and filtration. They don't buy a $20 million villa just to sleep in it. They buy it because of who the neighbors are. They buy the private jet because waiting is a leak in their efficiency. This is social leverage. One conversation on a 60-meter yacht in the Mediterranean can save 5 years of hustling in a cubicle. The wealthy pay for speed. They pay for access. They pay to be in environments where the air is thin and the stakes are high. Luxury is a filter that keeps the common noise out so the strategic signals can find each other. Number 10. The kinetic lead. In business, there is a concept called the kinetic lead. It means moving so fast and with so much force that the market cannot react in time. While you are brainstorming, the elite have already launched, failed, pivoted, and dominated. They have a high bias for action. They don't seek consensus. They seek results. They understand that most people are paralyzed by fear and overanalysis. By the time the average person decides to enter a market, the elite have already extracted the maximum value and are moving on to the next frontier. They lead with speed and they follow up with overwhelming scale. Number 11. The sovereignty protocol. The final stage of wealth isn't money. It is sovereignty. Most rich people are still slaves to their reputation, slaves to their board of directors, or slaves to the public's opinion. The true elite move beyond this. They move toward the sovereignty protocol. They build their lives so they are anti-fragile. If one country's economy crashes, they have assets in 3 others. If one currency fails, they hold gold, land, and intellectual property. They don't rely on a system to protect them. They build their own system. They don't ask for rights. They command them through the sheer weight of their economic presence. Number 12. The legacy of the unseen. True power is quiet. The real owners of the world don't have Instagram accounts. They don't do interviews. They don't need your validation. They focus on generational duration. They aren't thinking about the next quarter. They are thinking about the next century. They build foundations, trusts, and family codes that will govern their wealth long after they are gone. They are the ghost architects of the future. They understand that the most powerful thing you can be is unknown and untouchable. The final ascension. The world is divided into two groups, the producers and the consumers, the architects and the residents. You are currently a resident in a world built by someone else. You are paying rent to live in their systems, use their apps, watch their content, and eat their food. You are a data point in their algorithm. The gate to the other side isn't locked. It's just heavy. It requires you to stop being reasonable. It requires you to stop being liked. It requires you to accept that you will be misunderstood by everyone you currently know. Build your empire in the dark. Let the world see the results when the crane is already down and the skyscraper is touching the clouds. Stop asking for a seat at the table. Build your own table on your own land under your own rules. The time for talk is over. The time for architecture has begun. The world doesn't need to see your struggle. It only needs to witness your arrival. While the masses are busy broadcasting their every move, you will be busy architecting the inevitable. Don't announce your plans. Don't seek validation from those who are still trapped in the noise. Just announce the results when the empire is already standing. Because in the world of true power, silence isn't just a preference. Silence is the ultimate luxury. Step into the dark. End of transmission.